Number one, I'm not particularly interested in what the spread is between Ralph Abraham and Eddie Rispone at this point, because really the governor's race is at a theoretical stage. You don't really have campaigning that is occurring.
Okay, I know you downplayed the spread between Rispone and Abraham in your poll,
Yes.
But do you believe that that spread can be overcome strictly by positive campaign advertising, or do you think it's inevitable that there would have to be negative attack ads run? And if the negative attack ads run, do you think they may backfire based upon a sour taste that an awful lot of Republicans have from the 2015 election, that many believe that that is why we are where we are in having the governor? So I'd like to just see if you think that spread, I know you're downplaying it, but can it be totally overcome by nothing but positive campaigning?
So the question here is about the current spread between Abraham and Rispone, which I have at the present time downplayed, and if that spread would necessarily hold up and how it pertains to any positive or negative campaigning that's going to go on between the two Republicans. There are two things I look at with regards to your question. The first is you have a substantial money imbalance, which is with Rispone having a 10-to-1 difference in terms of cash on hand. That's a lot more saturation of the airwaves that can occur in terms of getting your message out. Now, in terms of if it's a positive or negative, I do think to some extent, and I have seen this happen in campaigns since that 2015 election, to some extent the Republicans have kind of been chastised, or really chastened, I think is the appropriate term to use here, because the campaigning that went on between the Republicans in the 2015 gubernatorial race, in my opinion, got to the thermonuclear level where you aren't just talking about highlighting differences between the candidates, you're talking about getting downright ugly to the point to where one or more of them isn't going to endorse you in the runoff. I do think it had collateral damage in terms of how the runoff went, number one. Number two, what I have seen happen since then, and I think the 2016 Senate election, and to a lesser extent the Treasurer and Secretary of State's race, are good examples of learning from your mistakes. I don't think the Republicans are allowing themselves to get put into that position again. Plus, I think that given that the Republicans very much want the governor's mansion back because of their dominance at just about every other level at the top of the ballot in Louisiana, I could see a case where if the campaign were to go to that level of negativity, that I think there would be some negative pushback coming from party types, from donors, and so forth. So in other words, I don't think there would be the same tolerance for that type of campaigning. I mean, obviously at some point there's going to be some negativity. The question is, will the negativity get to the extent that would preclude one from endorsing the other? I mean, a perfect example of that rebuttal would be the Secretary of State's race last year, where it did get fairly ugly at points, but all the candidates did fall into line behind Kyle Wirebrand, who of course won substantially. So I think that there have been some lessons that have been learned since 2015 that would keep it from getting to the level that it did back then.